In case you haven't heard me talk about it enough on all of my social media platforms, I am a first-time new mom, which means I have zero time to myself. I've said on Instagram before, I feel like doing my makeup is a major accomplishment these days, so I thought I would start a new series of doing my makeup in as few minutes as possible. Today, I'm doing my everyday fall look in under 15 minutes. In fact, I think I timed out at under 13 minutes. 13 minutes is not easy to find when you have a new baby, but mine is currently napping, or if you can get them to calm on you while baby wearing or bouncing them in a bouncer, this is makeup that anybody can do. Now, I don't have time to keep on blabbing, so let's get to the makeup. All right, let's start the timer. First thing I'm gonna do is grab my IT Cosmetics CC cream and just rub it all over my face using my fingers. I feel like fingers are the best way to apply the CC cream because it helps it really melt into my skin, and it's also the fastest way to do it. Now that that's all nicely blended in, I am going to start to conceal. I'm using my Tarte Shape Tape. Tried and tested many, many times. It never fails me. Just doing my under eyes and some darker spots around my mouth, my nose, and a little bit on my forehead just for good measure. Blending this in really quick with a wet beauty blender to make sure that it's all blended nicely. Next thing I'm gonna do is use my Becca Cosmetics under eye powder. I just use a brush, a loose brush, to blend this in. I feel like it's got finer granules to help with under eye creases. And then I'm using my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush powder, pressed powder, and applying it with a really big soft powder brush all over my face. Next, I'm going in with my Urban Decay bronzer. I'm using a really big fan brush because I'm not too concerned about contouring. I'm just focusing on bronzing. And then I'm using a Charlotte Tilbury Stick Cream Blush, just applying it with my finger again. Next, I'm gonna use that handy dandy finger to apply some highlighter from Colourpop Cosmetics. Apply it to all of the typical highlighting areas. And again, I think using your finger just helps it all blend into the skin really nicely. To fill in my brows, I'm using a pencil from NYX. I'm just basically drawing one line on the underneath side of my eyebrow and one line on the upper side of my eyebrow, and then I'm using the little spoolie that's attached on the other side of the pencil to blend it all in so it doesn't look too crazy. To finish off my brows, I'm using Legendary Brows from Charlotte Tilbury. This is my favorite brow product. It just helps everything look really natural. Now I'm using a palette from Charlotte Tilbury for my eyeshadow. It basically spells everything out for you so you know which to use as a highlight, which to use as a base, which to use for your crease, and it's got a really beautiful glitter shade that I'm applying to the center of my eye just using my finger. Everything else I'm just blending out really softly with a big blending brush. As this is an everyday look, I don't want anything to be too dramatic apart from that glittery pop in the center of my eye. For my under eye, I'm going back in with the color I used all over my lid to really softly line my lower lash line. And then I'm using the color that I used in my crease just on the outer corners of my eye to give it some dimension. To add a little bit of extra definition to my eye, I'm just lining my upper lash line with this super creamy brown pencil liner from Tarte. I love this eye pencil because you can blend it really easily with your finger. So I just drag it out a little bit past my outer corners and use my finger and my fingernail to create a very, very slight cat eye effect. For mascara, I'm using the new Snapscara from Maybelline because it washes off in a snap. You literally only need water to remove this mascara, which is really handy at the end of a long day. For my lips, I'm using Charlotte Tilbury's infamous Pillow Talk lip liner. And for the lipstick, I'm using a color from Colourpop Cosmetics that I love and everybody on social media loves too. It's a nice brown for fall. Gonna stop my timer and look at that, done in under 13 minutes. That's it guys, my everyday fall makeup in under 13 minutes. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up so I know to continue with this series, and let me know in the comment section what look you wanna see next.